Good morning, my brothers. Microphone on Kusuka Krebi. Yo Bruni Bako, yo Bini Bako. I know say Bruni obe managing one mix language now make kakra. I know say in Koyisa but you manage.
We manage kakra.
Yeah, the voice of David Kwamina Bolton. Are you Fanti?
I am.
Oh, is it Fanti Scottish?
Fanti Scottish. So, me mami, oye Fantini.
Okay.
My father is Scottish.
Scottish.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Right. You were from?
From Ekomfi, Otuam.
Otuam. Oh.
Yes.
My wife is from Otuam. Otuam, right? Otuam.
Oh, serious?
Yes.
Wow. I'm the chief. Seriously. I'm the chief of Otuam.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Nana Obaton. Since 1990.
Oh, I see. That's no Sankomo by the comedium Krum Komo. Not year film.
I tell you.
Hey. Nice one. Fifi.
Yes.
Rush.
Yes.
Also, who's your him?
Oh, me, Accra
boy.
Yeah.
Side by.
Accra, Bukom.
Hey.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, the Bukom first is somewhere here to
it's a hard place to live. You know, say a hot to say there's a hierarchy you need to follow. We are Akolana say Asantufo was in Bio Yamoka say Baku for the war, but but you have to go through the ranks into your home. If you are there and paying for it, you have to give much respect.
Okay.
To also know young con with two sell over Fasika and Abibisa. So Bibisia, Ebi Jamomo, like I say, knuckle to knuckle.
Okay.
Do it on the street. Into your home kind of like shape me a little bit, but now my papa a home no because you're home and me na me papa station wire states. It's you know, papa feel say me tina watch yanka. Nti and of am call station wire states.
Okay.
Nti anti biara no we yeah, you know, I started from I was born in Accra, Kolebu Hospital, and then
are you Ghan?
My mom is a Ghan, my dad is a Fanti.
Okay, yeah. Fanti for me, yeah.
Yes.
Mixed race. Me interview Bukumbanku. We had Bukumbanku, we are all bomber clat.
Yeah. No, literally, he's not far away from Baby Ayefi, your family house. So he's just right behind the Methodist Church, our Bukum Square on him. I know him for a long time, but a lot of people almost area only the likes of Iquote, any the boxers no more on the we grew up together and told me.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I crop land and call home most of the time, yeah.
What's the difference between sound producer and sound engineer? What do we take up with one?
All right, then you know, in the music industry,
right,
on the technical side, there are various roles and positions. So you start with the producer. Now the producer, if we take it international, there's somebody like Quincy Jones.
Right.
Quincy Jones produced Michael Jackson.
Right.
He produced Frank Sinatra. Right. So he as a producer, you are responsible. You're like the director of the project.
Okay.
Like the director. So you are responsible for making sure that the sound, the elements of the sound, the drums, the synthesizer, the piano, if there's live guitars and all of that, you are to direct how everything should be played.
Right.
And sometimes you play it yourself. Yeah, but think of the producer as a director. But then you have the recording engineer.
What is the sound engineer?
The sound engineer.
Okay.
So the sound engineer is the technical person. So maybe the producer doesn't understand the technicalities of frequencies and all these things, but the recording engineer is there to translate what the producer wants and to make it a reality. So without the recording engineer or the sound engineer, it's not easy to get a good quality sound.
Okay.
So the sound engineer is very, very important. Then from there you have the mixing engineer.
Okay.
So once the sound engineer has made sure that everything is recorded at the correct levels, the correct frequencies and everything, then the mixing engineer comes in to make sure that all the elements are balanced. So you hear, let's say, the vocal. So if the singer is singing or the rapper is rapping, that has to be the most prominent element, because is the song is all about what the singer is saying or the rapper is saying. Then you have to balance that against the drums, the synthesizers, pianos, and all of that, so that when you listen to it on any type of system, because you can listen to it on a small old speaker, or you can listen to it on $100,000 speaker. It has to sound good on everything.
Right.
You see the thing. So it's a compromise. It's about making sure it sounds good, because if you mix it to sound good on the expensive system, when you play it on the cheap system, it will sound terrible. So that's why if you go into a studio, you see you have the expensive what we call the monitors.
Yeah.
Then you have the cheap ones. Well, not cheap, but
grades,
the lower grades.
Grades.
So when you're mixing, you switch between all these monitors to make sure that it's a balanced sound. Then once you finish with the mixing, it goes to the mastering engineer, and the mastering engineer is responsible to make sure that the sound is at the same level as other commercial songs that are already out there. It has a similar, what we call sonic characteristic. So in terms of the frequencies, it should be balanced so that if you play a Jay-Z song, then you play my song, they sound the same. You see the thing, even though it might be a different genre, but it's not like you have to turn it up or turn it down or just adjust your equalizer.
When you're playing your car, sometimes the sound, the volume, drops.
It drops, or you find there's too much bass in this song. There's not enough bass in the next song. So a good mastering engineer has to balance that and make sure that it's at a commercial standard, so that when it's played out, it meets the accepted standards. And again, that's a very technical area.
Okay. Yes, Fee. You share mastering and I say be engineering. Is it about your hearing? And I say as in figures be that how making sure say be at a certain level.
Sir, I don't know. Sometimes when and share that it's both.
Your hearing ability?
Yeah, your hearing ability, because even some people are very, very gifted. They can tell. Plus, you also have to know the technicalities about how to get things balanced. It's both ways, good sound out there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are trace of first song. Go home by Exdo.
Beach Nut guy. Actually, Exdo, and or no was our idea no. Oh, Nitimu said, or PBBT says, he brought the idea and we sat down and sample that way, and we recreated and added stuff to it to suit the Ghanaian market. Because over the years, I BBT says with to say VIP. Lumbe.
Yeah.
I know VIP.
No, but when
I know a game, Mario.
Oh, okay.
Mario. We extract the Mario, we sample from the Mario, and then we build around it to suit whatever they have in their head. Yeah.
And for now, copyright issues, in case the owners of the original song, is there a way you need to seek permission from them to do these kind of things?
Yeah. You need to get clearance. So
this was the last song. Let's say he may have a problem with it.
With this particular song, no, because the actual song itself, it's not taken directly from Mario. It's like you've taken the idea. So you realize it's only the first 1 second of the song where it plays the actual Mario sample.
Okay.
You see the thing, but thereafter it's just like we wanted to get that game feel. You see those 80s games, 90s games with Mario Brothers and all that. It has a certain sound, what we call the 8-bit sound, because that was the technology in those times. So you try and make sure that whichever sounds you select give you that emotion, that feeling. But with the Exdo song, yes, that's a direct sample.
Because I don't know the idea anybody. It's
the artists in your problem, not the engineers.
You see, well, the owner of the music, the owner of the rights. You see the thing. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
Cisco, the thong song.
Yeah.
there's one line where he goes, "Living la vida loca." That "Living la vida loca," just that line was taken from a Ricky Martin song, which was a #1 song called "Living la vida loca."
Okay.
But Ricky Martin didn't write the song; some other guy wrote it.
Okay.
So that guy took Cisco to court because Cisco hadn't cleared that line.
Okay.
So he lost all the royalties on that song.
Wow.
All the royalties on that song went to the guy,
the writer.
Yeah. Another example is Puff Daddy. When he did the song for Biggie,
Biggie Small,
every step you take,
every step you take,
every step
I'm
you
missing
take,
you.
I'm missing you. Yeah, that song was sampled directly from a Sting song.
Sting, yeah.
So Sting, and they didn't get clearance, and that song made tens of millions of dollars. Sting took them to court, and he took all the royalties. You see the thing? So they lost everything. So Sting has made, every day since that song has been out, he's made $2,000 every single day on royalties. Every single day since that song came out.
So, okay, you can remake of a song, then.
Remake of a song is trying to put the idea of the first song and make it new.
And the quality of it,
no quality. I know your standard, but you're just extracting the idea from one song and make it another song.
Okay.
Sometimes you can make it your own, but you still based on the first elements. Now, we free mono. You have some similarities to certain elements from the first song. Okay. How they build. It's like building a song, a same house, pulling somebody's planned foundation to build your own. Okay. But you still have the old elements, the one you started from. No, a little bit into this one. In China, I can say you need clearance.
Okay.
Or you need a clearance to make sure
to remix somebody's song.
Yes, it's very important. Yeah.
But you see, there's different things. Remixing a song is where you're actually taking the original song and just changing the elements of it, but the song itself is essentially the same.
Right.
So a remix, what Puff Daddy did was not a remix; it was sampling. Because he changed the words, he changed, the whole meaning of the song.
Okay.
But he just took the hook of the song. So that's sampling. Right. But remix is where you actually take let's say the vocal of the song, and then you do a new beat. That's a remix. But one thing to bear in mind is that there are certain types of music, certain genres, where sampling is part of the culture.
Right.
Like hip hop.
Hip hop, yeah.
Hip hop, it's all about sampling. It's normal. You see the thing.
So there's a matter of seeking permission.
Clearance. That's it. So you seek clearance. You have to, what they call it, clearing the sample.
Okay.
So you have to clear the sample with the owner of the music, and then you come to some arrangement. Either you pay them off, or you give them some percentage. Yeah, split on the royalties.
I see. Now I say, you need to really learn.
Oh yeah,
because PDD if you me in the yeah, because I'm surprised. Nancy and you be by Obrafour we kill the block. It should be by kill the cat.
Yeah.
I'm so want to find
Drake. Yeah.
That issue no. Follow up. Nana, Omo. Court on that.
I don't think so. For me, because when I listen to both lines now, it's not the same.
It looks like the same audio. It sounded like the same thing.
And then the other one says, "Well, I forgot."
Kill the cat. Yeah. Kill the cat. And I repeat it, same as on the Obrafour.
Yeah, I mean, you see, sometimes it's difficult with these things because if you're just taking a bit of it, you see the thing, and where he got it from, and then you have to understand who owns that line. Was it Manche that said who
was Manche? New Manche,
yeah.
Yeah, that he actually said it. So it's not an Obrafour. Obrafour didn't own that bit necessarily. So it gets complicated. And then the reason why a lot of these sampling and these issues don't go to court is because it costs a lot of money. You see the thing, and if you can't prove your case very, very clearly, you've lost everything. You see the thing. So that's why you find that it's usually only the big songs. This song, Robin Thicke and Pharrell. They did Bloodlines.
Yeah, Bloodlines.
And then it became so successful that I think they made something like $10 million in royalties of that song.
Marvin Gaye.
The Marvin Gaye, who's dead long time, his estate took him to court because it wasn't even sampling, but they used the feel of his song.
Okay.
So the emotion of the song, and they said that it was so close that he copied from them.
Wow.
But most people in the industry don't agree. But Pharrell still lost the case, and Pharrell had to pay $7 million to Marvin Gaye's estate. So it's a very tricky area, and it's becoming more and more problematic because music only has 12 notes.
Okay.
Right. In music theory, there are 12 notes. Right. You have from A to G, and in that you have your flats and sharps, and there's only a certain number of combinations that you can actually create in music. So definitely one song is going to sound similar to another song. So the issue is you have to prove that the person that created this song copied yours. You see the thing? And there are cases going on all the time, and a lot of them, they don't win. A lot of them.
So in this case, I think if somebody has to be blamed now, so I'll say, I think the engineers, right? They should know better.
Producers or engineers?
It's the producer.
Producer, right?
Yeah, the producer.
Now, say who engineer? No, now who name the technicalities of these things?
It's not everything that you know. Obi the name to say now you want to work on it. You might use some elements that you don't know that ABI some other song. So you sometimes that's why we always have to sit down with an artist and go through what is entails for us to what we want to work on, and then it's advice what I said in my one. I catch or say it here, but I say be so a bit hard now. I tell yourself ukonisia embwa. Then it's planning. It's planning because sometimes which me after binyum there be some element to be, but if you sing it round and I say all looping to 4 bars, you obenya sem. You want to me fast and yeah, it's independent and you work towards that. Yeah.
Now, Michelle, more records. You've been together for what, 2 decades?
No,
or 3?
3
decades.
Yeah.
And then, not easy to acquire equipment to own a studio.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Sana dada my phone na.
Yeah.
Dada my phone access to Sanyumano. So growing up, Bolton now growing up now vision you're not so you're in life.
Okay, when I was fortunate to have parents who were very, very supportive.
Okay.
You see, my both of them, and I didn't grow up from a rich
family
home at all. I mean, we were poor.
Poor, the word poor or average?
No, poor. Oh. We were poor, and this was in London. So to be poor in London, I mean, we were poor. I mean, to give you an example, when I was in secondary school, fortunately, I was intelligent, so I managed to get into a grammar school.
Okay.
In London, it's outside London, and that school was founded in 1615.
Wow.
So it's like only the rich and the best of the best get in. So I managed to get in based on my exam results.
Your performance.
My performance. So I was surrounded by rich kids.
Okay.
For instance, lunch. I had to go to the headmaster's office and get a lunch token. You get me? To go and then have lunch because my parents couldn't afford, to be giving me money every day for lunch. You see the thing? My clothes were second-hand clothes. You see the thing? So I grew up from a not a privileged background. But then, even then, my dad, he wanted the best for me. So I remember when I was 9 years old, that was when computing was starting to now become a thing.
Okay.
And I mean, way before laptops or anything like that. This would have been in the early 80s.
So that early 80s.
Yeah.
Was it that?
5?
No, that was even before floppy disks.
Okay, floppy disks. Yeah.
So they used cassette.
Okay.
So the computer he got me was a second-hand computer, and I think he bought it for £50 or £100 at those days. Yeah, and that was for my birthday present when I was 9 years old.
Okay.
And it had 4 kilobytes of memory.
Okay.
Now, to give you an idea, 4 kilobytes of memory is like 2 pages of typing.
Okay.
That's what 4
Very
kilobytes
small.
of memory is. You see that? Now laptops have gigabytes and terabytes.
Yeah.
You know, it's I mean, hundreds of thousands of times more. But basically from that, I then started using it and then trying to make the most of it. And he then, every time I outgrew the computer, he would find a way to get me another one. So it wasn't the latest computer. It was like
old school.
Yeah, but he still managed to encourage me. So by the time I was, I think, 12 years old, I then started doing bits and pieces of work for some of his. My father was like a general, what we call an odd job man in UK. We call him odd job man. So he's like, he can do building, he can do plumbing, everything. Yeah. He was even a tailor. He was a soldier before. He was a tailor. He drove lorries. Anything. So he's a ways and means
to
survive. He said the thing. So he always made sure that we had food on the table. He said the thing. So when I was 12, some of the people that he was working for, some of them were business owners and rich, wealthy people, and they needed spreadsheets. That time, this was before even Microsoft and Bill Gates had even made Microsoft and all that. It was now coming up. They had something called it was before Lotus 123. It was a spreadsheet basically.
So WordPerfect.
No, that was before WordPerfect. There was WordStar. There was anyway. But this basically, I had to type spreadsheets for them. So it was like their cash flow forecast, their budget, things that they have to send to the bank. I was preparing it for
at the age of 12.
At the age of 12, and then they would pay me some £1, and for me that was cool. Those days. So I learned how to program, how to code. So by the time I was 15, I'd actually started a business.
You're used to the machine now.
Yeah, because it was, it was part of me. So by the time I was 15, I was doing business and I was getting contracts from companies in London. That time I was making £5,000, £10,000 at pop, you sort of thing. And then by the time I got to 17, I'd created a software system for the Royal College of General Practitioners in UK. So that was where it was a software system that if you put it in your hospital or your clinic, it has a complete list of all your patients, all your clients, their history, the drugs they've been taking, every prescription that's been given to them. And then it will send out letters to them that, you're due for review, cervical scan, this, all these things. So that thing was, at that time, I was selling it for, I think, £5,000 per installation.
But what came to mind to do that?
It was actually my family doctor, who my dad was also working for, building stuff like that. So he became very close with me, and he actually started helping financially and all of that to put the business together.
Right.
So he suggested that, look, the government is now, this was in 1990, before the internet, before there's nothing like social media, internet. So and that's when you had the discs that you have to put in and then close the drive. So he suggested, why don't I design the software that can do this? If I can do that, then it'll be very beneficial to all the doctors and so on. So it became so popular that I started getting famous in the UK. So I was always in the newspapers, always on television, and all of that, because I was the youngest businessman doing computers at that time. And then there was this big drug company called Dkaybees. It's a German, I think they've been bought out by Pfizer, one of those huge drug companies now. So they called me one day with my dad to their they have a headquarters somewhere in the country. They picked us up with a limousine, took us there, and they showed us, and they showed us around, and then they showed us that they had the same software, right, doing the same thing, but on a much bigger computer. And they were selling theirs for £250,000.
They are selling it.
I mean, to the doctors.
Oh, okay.
They were selling it £250,000 per installation. Mine was £5,000 per installation.
Times 2.
Times like 10.
Yeah.
You know, from 5,000 to 250. So they said, look, we want to buy your software. And then they offered £2 million.
They're buying it off.
They want to buy it
so
off.
that it doesn't belong to you again. Almost we are saying.
So they offered £2 million at that meeting. And then, so I asked, okay, so why do you want to buy it, even though you already have it?
Exactly.
And you're obviously a much more reputable company than me. So they said, oh, we want to buy it and then shelve it. Shelve it? What do you mean by shelve it? They said, oh, we'll basically we won't use it.
What was the difference between yours and theirs?
They did the same thing.
It's competition. They want to cut you off, and then
they did exactly the same thing.
Okay. But they want to buy yours.
They want to buy mine because they realize that I will kill their market
with their price.
And the fact that because if a doctor can pay £5,000 for this thing, and then £250,000 back then, that in 1990, that was huge money. So these doctors had to be paying, every month they had to pay huge thousands of pounds. So they wanted to just kill my product.
Then go and find something else to do.
And I said no. So I left it, and then continued selling, and it was selling very, very well. Every day, the doctors were coming to buy it, and I was employing people. That time, I think I had up to about almost 10 people that I was employing to be going to install and train and all these things. And then that's when West Africa, I don't know if you remember the West Africa magazine back then.
West Africa magazine.
They did an article because I had mentioned in one of the TV interviews that my mum was Ghanaian.
Oh, okay.
So then they came, and then there was this whole story that Mami Water has taken me and some long story. Going to
Mami Water has open a creative story now.
No, what happened is when I came to Ghana when I was, I think, 4 years with my parents, and we went in Otuam.
Otuam, okay.
So the previous chief, Nana Barton, who was my grand uncle, he was holding me, and then we were at the beach, and I was pointing into the sea that I can see a woman there in the sea.
Okay.
So everybody was looking and nobody could see anything. So they said, oh, then it's Mami Water. so because of that, they twisted the whole thing and said that Mami Water has taken me and given me all these powers, these blessings. Yeah. And then Chairman Rollins, this was 1990, he saw the article and called the British, the Ghanaian High Commissioner in London. And they called me and said, oh, look, they want me to come to Ghana and basically
help the government.
Yes. And this was before NDC. This was PNDC time.
PNDC time, yeah.
So there were no
opposition,
no democracy, nothing at that time. So my mom said no. She was dead against it. She's dead against it. Not even the politics, but she didn't want me to come to Ghana because it's like she spent all her life trying to get away because she left in the 60s with all the problems with Nkrumah and all that. So she spent all her life getting out. And then her son, after doing all this and sacrificing, and things are now going so well. I mean, I bought my dad cars, and my mom set out the house and everything, washing machines and all these things. And it's like, you're going back to Ghana for what? You're going to destroy your life. So my dad said, no, let's go. So it was a big... it was a big problem. But one thing, I always had a problem in UK in that I never felt like I belonged.
You belong, okay.
You see the thing. Especially growing up, being mixed race, when you're there, it's funny, when I'm in Ghana, they see me as Obroni. But when I'm there, I'm black.
Yes. Why is it so? Most, the perception there.
Even if you have 15% of
you are black.
blackness in you, you're black.
They're very racist.
But most of you guys too also believe you are from Africa.
That's, you see,
most Rics, they prefer the black side.
The reason is because when I came to Ghana, I felt at home. Welcomed, accepted. You see the thing. Whereas there, you're always trying to prove yourself. You see the thing. That's why you see the Serena Williams and the Tiger Woods and all that. They always have to do more to get to the top. Yeah. And then the moment you slip up, you see what they did to Tiger and the rest. They're always looking. Even Michael Jackson, look what they did to him. You see, and R. Kelly, all the rest. The least thing, they will make sure that they cut your legs. Yeah. You see the thing. So I felt at home in Ghana, and basically, for me, money. I've never chased after money.
Okay.
Money will come when it needs to come. You see the thing. If you're doing the right thing, you get. I always believe you will get what you need at that time. You see the thing. I shouldn't be chasing after, because then you'll make silly decisions, and at the end of the day, you won't be happy. You see the thing. So anything I do is because I want to do it. You understand? It's because I want to do it. So that's how I ended up in Ghana. That's when I came and I saw that there was so much need for what the gift that I had.
Okay.
I could do so much here. You see the thing. And the first thing I did was I computerized the airport.
Okay.
The Ghana Civil Aviation Authority. And that's in fact how
you guys met.
We met.
We've been working. I started working with Ghana Civil Aviation for all the way to now.
Maybe also I also call computer. But before then, let's listen to this.
Chit chat will take place as you're playing it.
Okay. David Bolton's new music video, Obrafour.
Once again.
Obrafour.
No, hold it. Obrafour.
David Bolton's new music video, Obrafour.
Correct.
Reflects the excellence multi-talented David attaches to all he does. I must say that I felt proud.
I feel proud.
I must say that I feel proud
of what he has achieved.
Very
good.
Ghana has boasted of some great musicians, and the younger ones are doing their best with the dancehall, hip life, Afrobeats, etc. But sometimes it's difficult to decipher any positive theme from some of their lyrics. Music and musicians have gained a negative reputation in recent times. Profane lyrics seem to have become pervasive in some of the music produced in Ghana today. And some of the music videos are equally distasteful, often portraying women as sexual objects to be used. And
David, how do you feel hearing Chairman Rollins, ex-President Rollins, talking about you? I mean, watching how to even read these things. How do you feel?
You know, I'm trying to hold back the tears, to be honest, because that's the man. He was misunderstood. You know, that man. To me, he became my father. You see the thing. He actually taught me how to fly.
Okay.
Yeah,
piloting.
Piloting. He taught me how to fly, and he also showed me. He made me understand life and the politics of life and why people do the things they do. You see the thing, and you see him that he had some people around him. We could all see that the people were crooks, but he knew why he had them around him.
Okay.
Because he also saw the good side of them. And look, if he can manage the bad side, he can get
what he wants
for the greater good. And look, do you know the man never owned a house in Accra.
I've been hearing it, but
never owned a house. Where he was renting. You see the thing. He had just one place outside in the Volta region where he would go every weekend. So everything he did was out of selflessness.
Was it the reason why Anna Obrafour it's like I had the opportunity, but I didn't do this.
No, you see, he felt disappointed in that all the sacrifices that we made in the country, all the things, and don't forget, he was human. He also made mistakes and certain things that maybe he regretted. But he felt that, look, after all this, we are back in the same old position that caused the revolution in the first place. So what was it all for? What was the point?
Wasted years.
What was it all for? And don't forget, he himself, he sacrificed his life for the country. I mean, in terms of, he didn't have he couldn't do anything he really wanted to do, because for those 20 years he was in power, and even after, do you know how many hundreds of people school fees he was paying? You know how many surgeries he paid for, how many, sending people outside for treatment and for education and all that. And he would very much focus on girls, on the females, that look, if we don't push them to be at our level, what he hated the most was stories of female students having to go to lectures and have sex for grades and that sort of thing. He found that so disgusting, sort of thing. So that's why I say he was misunderstood. A lot of people just see the bad side of him, but he really just wanted the country,
best.
The best, and the country to be the best. That was all he wanted, and everything he did was towards that. I was fortunate enough to spend enough time with him outside of the politics, because I never got involved in the politics, but I saw everything that was going on around him.
Mr. Rush.
Yes.
Also, Bokum boy, computer so boom. Also, boxing
also, sometimes you have something inside you. Bibia, you have it inside you, but sometimes you just need somebody to spark it. Because my dad was a musician. And
now or now?
Yeah, it was. Until I can say, Pa George.
My
father used to play the saxophone. I saw them going out. They come train. They were playing gigs all over here and there. And when I was growing up, I had this thing inside me until I met David. Before me share David, let me school. I was into telecommunication. Until I was working with a company called Unimax Services Limited. We're doing PABX system programming inside Yaman, installations inside Yaman. By that time too, I was dancing.
And also
my mother used to dance. It travels around with, back in the day, with Kwame Nkrumah shows everywhere. So she had that, and I have that in me. David Ghana, and we had a show at Blaster Square that time. Steve Wonder.
Isaac Hayes mobile.
Isaac Hayes that time,
Panafest.
The first Panafest. David was looking for, by that time, David I recorded, he was looking for us to do a show. So Obe share me. And we had the show. And when we had the show, I realized that when I got close to David, I realized that he's into music and he's into technology, and this is what I do. The channel. And I've got something that I'll be exposed of to be able to be who I want to be. Because I'll go into music because my papa those times or say my papa a boss saxophone I'm not because now some of my uncles are very, very vexed with my mother because some fools and mommy they are not, because now papa owns your own Fantin New Town. Kumasi
Fantin Town.
It's in Emmanuel Peno.
Your fans.
Yeah, a nice boy. It's they be no mameko. It's mama no person will do anything like
entertainment.
Yeah, because we so ni fifi prat.
Yeah.
The mama achieve 2, 3 ni papa. Yeah, so the whole family they are into music. It's mama just stop us on person do anything like music. Into time David.
Bye
no. Yeah, she didn't know. Say I was gonna dance. The time she realized I was on TV. And even that one I have to, go through a lot.
Yeah, punishment.
Yeah. It's David, who say I'm into telecommunication. Because I one day I want in office or not or per se or telephone extensions all the offices will have telephones so that we'll have like the main system will be at then they'll be connecting transferring calls here and there. Today but my boss is no price of my friend no Jesus Christ. That was too much and I'm catching David said no. Oh no on top PABS system
okay.
May wear an for free. And I'm and everything was when from there meaning my because so then I moved to him and then that was it. And so I got all my training and everything. I did I saw all of them and I learned meaning all the way till now.
That time why music?
Yes.
Now why one of your first artists are recording?
Yes, started from Felix Owusu.
Felix in there first.
And
but then music turned free him because now we have that software now.
There was this guy too. Atongo.
Atongo. And then Dead Body was the first one that was coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Atongo. And then the music thing was there. It's been there. And we had a small little studio.
Okay.
That was where we're doing all the magic. Kiki Jan was also coming around.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Felix also a someone a production.
Yeah. But then David executive producer those days. Yeah.
That Charles Mushiano. Charles.
No, through Felix Owusu.
Felix in the Charles Samuel Babo.
Yeah.
Now, hearing Charles Samuel saying, you are the next Buddha's tiger. How was it feeling? I mean,
it feels strange because I remember the first day we went to Charles Amwa's studio. He was living close to us, right?
Yeah, it's not far away from
New Achimota, those times. And then I looked at what he was doing, the sort of programming and the songs, and I thought, how is it possible that from this machine he's creating this?
Okay, the machine that he was using to create what he's creating.
I mean, it was amazing. I mean, Charles has so much talent. I mean, so he rather spurred me on. You think he gave me a lot of dreams. Everything like that. If this is possible, that I can actually do this and this and this. So it was from there that the computer thing was always there as the standard. We had a computer school and all of that, and then I was doing a lot of projects. But music was the passion.
Okay.
So every time, whatever we're doing with the computers, we always make sure that we are investing it into studio equipment and so on. So at one point, we went back to London. I think 96.
Yeah, 96. Yeah.
Went back to London, and that's when Rush also went back and then learned sound engineering and all of that from London. We set up a studio in Hackney. There's a part of London called Hackney.
Yeah, Clarence Muse.
Yeah, and that was where we actually partnered with some Jamaicans.
Okay.
And those Jamaicans were heavily into music. Aswad.
Aswad, yeah.
They were part of the group.
Black
Aswad,
Slate.
Black Slate.
Not really. I've not.
Okay.
This boys also this boy Musical Youth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Musical Youth.
Yeah.
Those small boys.
Solar Glamour Kid.
Yeah. Those days. So we set up the studio there. This was like three or 4 years we were running it there.
Okay.
And then it got to a point where we said no, we have to come back
to Ghana.
So I think we came back 99.
Dave, you skipped Pricky.
Pricky. Sorry.
I think that's more dancehall feel of most of the songs.
Yeah. So what happened is, I think you met Pricky.
I met Pricky, and some funny thing about Pricky, you have a laugh. I was in Ghana. Anytime I goes and drop the kids from school, and I'm coming back home, I see him crossing the same position. He's been doing that for like ages, like 6 months. Like anytime I go and I'm coming, I'll see him crossing the street. Anytime I don't know how, for some reason. Until from there, and then we start saying hello.
Okay.
And one day I stopped, and we had a chat. He said he's into music and stuff like that. So I brought him home.
Okay.
When he came home, he saw that we have a setup, and that was it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was it.
So we actually flew him out to London. He was there for what, 6 months?
Yeah, for 6 months, and we recorded the Obrafour album. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So that was actually recorded and mixed in London
in
with
our studio.
the producers of these heavy reggae dancehall artists, the real producers. There was one producer, Colin McNeish.
Okay.
And this guy he's a bass player, but he plays bass for, I think he did Michael Jackson.
He does all the
he tours the world. Those times he was touring the world, doing live shows and stuff. But he was also producing for us. So that's one of the reasons why that particular album, Pricky's album, the quality was high. You see the thing? It's like, that's when you realize that for music, every decision you make is important. Every sound you pick. So if you listen to Obrafour, there's very little elements in it, very few elements.
But
it hits. You see the thing? It hits. You see, and it's like, that's when you realize, no, music, you have to understand what you're doing. It's not just about playing around. It's understanding and learning. You know, so that's even to this day, I'm constantly learning, because music. The great thing about music is it's like there are no rules.
Okay.
To a certain extent, there are no rules. You can today you can create something new that's never been done before.
Okay.
A new sound, a new genre. Right? Hip life. Where was hip life 20 years ago? It didn't exist. Now it's all over, and it's been evolved into
different branches,
Afrobeats and this and that. You see the thing. So music is one of those things that you can really express yourself.
Okay.
Right? And something that Charles Amaro says, that look, musicians don't have an expiry date
till they die.
Yeah? Like, unlike footballers or any other sports player, if you're a footballer, by the time you're 35 you have to stop and find something else. But as a musician, you can create a song today at 20 years old and be living off that one song till 70.
Right.
You see the thing? I mean, look at what I said about Sting. Just that one song, $2,000 a day since 1978. So you see the thing?
Yeah.
So, and he has hundreds of songs, but just that one song, look what it's done for him. So we don't I think we don't understand what music really is, the business behind it in this country. You see the thing? That's why our musicians are not meeting the standards and going toe to toe with the Nigerians and so on, because we're still not taking it seriously.
Now, dealing with artists, different kinds of artists, ego na for him. I drew baby, they feel like they're untouchable, and if it was a Sienna, they just drop and they go into hibernation. Dealing with them, problem near them.
What can ego? Okay, that's one thing. Two things. The second thing is almost because they are talented. It be more hard, they are into that. They think about it. Every musician to that level, they are all selfish.
Okay.
In a way of trying to say, okay, I can create this, I can create that. But sometimes you need to ask yourself, what I can create, is this something that will appeal to the people or not? Or the person that you are dealing with around you, or the kind of people. Because we've had so many experience with these boys.
Okay.
When they come up with one song, and the song is, if a song is very, very big, almost feels okay, yeah, I'm going to last forever.
They're there.
And they're not going to be consistent. But you should know that what you've done, if you keep pushing and pushing and be very humble and keep doing what you do and have the right people around you, you will be there for a long time. Most of the artists you see, they are very talented though, but and to me, only the few ones that are very humble, they kind of like they are open and stuff. Though they know, they put their ego down and make sure, say, okay, this is my career, this is what I want to pursue to the rest of my life, so I'm gonna be doing this. It's it varies. And when it happens, and then when it hits them, they were like, okay, no, I can't. And then that thing settles in. There's only few of them will say, okay, I'm gonna come back hard and then try. They don't want to come back again. They like they show themselves around the corner and then they feel like, no, this is not me, I can't do that. And if you step on so many people's toes and you have to go through same.
So what's there with you?
Some of the artists end up working with them, so many issues, so many. But sometimes, as a producer, as us, me and I want to say David is very, very reserved. Sometimes, Hey. They're not sorting.
So
the amount of times he sacked VIP from the studio it's not so many times he sacked them.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes tell them, get out.
Aromba don't be the brain and is
Promise. What do you mean? That group no.
Promzi, Zeal and
Zeal is like the mother of the group.
Yeah.
Prodigal, a businessman.
Okay.
The Prodigal no be a time a bus studio no ton car. I know ABB.
Trade business.
Yeah. Inti Obeba. Promzi is the first person to come to the studio.
Okay.
Because he was looking for success. I tell you,
so aggressive.
Yeah, he's aggressive, but he's always looking for that we're gonna be big. We're gonna be big. So
he was the one pushing.
Yeah, him. And then yes, but let's super and Tokwisia. Now we cool you be and a bones on say on pen one SMB. Yeah. And a friction is the one that lays the rules, man. If you are late, you'll be in trouble. Like friction was like, I've never seen a group that they have a leader that controls them to the highest level. Intina free mono, they were free.
Okay.
And the song that we produced for them, that was when the confusion happened.
Oh.
Yeah. Friction was supposed to come and do his verse, and he came, he says not doing it. He wants to go solo. Yes. He wants to do his own thing.
After my
yeah. Until also na bone in your visa. Until bone no lume or rap here. The rest of the song one and I'll call UK. Yeah, and I count 3 of them. No, Prodigal, Friction, and then it's a Prodigal, Promzi, and then Lazy. It's a woman It's when the moment they have their freedom, no, they say no, we're not accepting him back again.
Okay,
and that's how the 3 of them pushed, and then from there, no, we had to give them to Goodies.
Okay,
yeah, so Goodies took them on, and then from there, yeah, they became who they became.
What's VIP? Promzi free mono. How about?
Yeah, me no munyana kasa o. Me no munyana kasa boom.
Then and now.
Now,
okay.
I still speak to them. We are very cool. We talk, we meet. But on say Promzi is not stable now. Obeka say and no china na wasa cause problem. Tiama the 2 of them no. And then plus Reggie about Reggie no a Promzi pa.
Okay, so he thought then it is a contribution.
Yeah, he didn't want
the idea.
On idea. No.
But that's how called the alcohol. I mean,
and the 2 of them, someone lose you a little bit of way because they wanted to do their 20 years. They were all together, and then something happened, and then they just didn't want.
20 years late, a 40 year ring.
Or I think a couple of years ago, like 2-3 years ago.
Okay, so the 20, no, Uncle Beba.
Oh, they were doing preparation, and everything, and something happened, and they So
the idea of Regino, was it bad? Where you guys are sitting as a group?
Not necessarily bad. I mean, it's for me. Honestly, I didn't understand it.
Okay,
it didn't make sense to me. But then, because I also Reggie as a solo artist.
Yeah.
You see the thing, and VIP obviously as VIP. So Reggie coming on board, I saw it more of a marketing. It was a branding marketing kind of thing. But
so was a vision in progress.
VVI.
Yeah.
So a vision in progress. VVI. Very.
Yeah. I mean, look.
So you could because they started with like 4, 5. VIP was
5. Yeah. Bone, Friction, Promzi, Lazy, and Prodigal.
Yes, and the 2 free.
Yeah,
and the Becca 3.
Yeah.
But Bone went for more. But Bone he had a chance to travel to the UK.
Controlling the man.
Yeah.
Group thing.
With every group it happens. I mean, even if you look at the biggest groups in the world, they eventually they all go their separate ways. Yeah. So it generally with a group it works for a few years. It's only a few groups like the Rolling Stones, where they've been together for God knows how many decades. But I think they got to the point where they understood, look, this is business. this is where we make our our careers are here, right? So it gets to the point where you don't carry your personal life into your business life. You see the thing, and I think that's a problem we have with musicians in general.
Okay.
Because as a musician, everybody wants to know everything about you.
Okay.
You see the thing, that you have the paparazzi following them. Yeah. So it's difficult to separate your personal life from your work life. You see, but those that manage to do it, then they manage to sustain themselves and go for a very long time. But those where they can't see that, look, whatever you're doing privately, try and keep it as private as possible. You see the thing, and then keep your, you have your persona on stage, and your persona in your social media and all of that, but that's not who you are.
Papa Shoto, so there's a free book back, Mona. Also, how close were you guys with the group?
Very, very close. We are very, very tight with them. Just we didn't have the chance to record
as a group.
Yeah, as a group. But Shoto, it pulled out, onyamu issues, and Shoto, any Abraham Mohinija Ekasa.
Okay.
By that time, we and Abraham were sharing the same premises.
Okay.
Into Abraham and Eva Kasai, and we started a project on Shoto.
Okay.
By that time, now you recorded KK for Suja album. We did that song together. David and I do that project together. Yeah.
Now, David, because I'm say ego in artists. Does it have positive sides also?
It does. The thing is, without that ego, there wouldn't be an artist. You see the thing?
Okay.
Why does somebody have something within them that they feel they have to project themselves on stage and perform in front of sometimes
millions?
Yeah, I mean, and then somebody else cannot even speak in public. You see the thing? It's all about ego.
Yeah.
You see the thing? You have to have that belief that you've got what it takes. You've got what the people want. And look, it's amazing. If you can be on stage and you can move someone to tears. You see the thing? On stage. Look at people. I always take Michael Jackson. People will see Michael Jackson and they'll faint.
Yeah.
They'll collapse. Just seeing the guy in
the image.
The image, just seeing him there, they'll collapse. And it means that, look, the person, you have to have ego to be an artist, but you have to know how to focus that ego
and manage it.
Yes.
Correct. Someone said the same thing. We're discussing, I think, a shutter issue, and Rexuma was like, "Yeah, Hammer, an artist should have an ego."
Yeah.
What which is KK Fusu? I say, boys now we audio machine. Also, Tum Krasinyum, wait. But Obai, when you came to us, you keep saying, "I'll be a star." Say me, I'll be a star. You don't worry, I'll be a star. I'll be a star. I can see him saying it to his friends, the boys around. No one can say, "Oh, if you're to just say me, I'll be a star." And I really we put that way. No one said you can make it. You can make it. And one thing I need to tell you that it was with us and even doing choruses for a lot of the big boys.
Okay.
And nobody knew it was coming that big. And KK lived with us for 2 years.
Okay.
And we managed to record him. Find slots to work on his album. David was producing this thing. I was doing my beats, doing everything. We record, we put it down. And so KK lived with us, stayed with us to finish the album. Wow. See what happens.
The quality of sound, the way Anna Ombre to sing, KK.
Yes.
Also on stress around.
Yeah.
See, that boy has so much in him. That boy is so multi-talented. Up to until now. He's always been calling us, always wanted to come back. I don't know what is wrong with him. We've produced some instrumentations for him to come and even do vocals. He's still not coming. And he will call us. Uncle Dave, Mr. Rash, I'm coming, but still.
You have to understand, it's not easy. Once you get to that level, right, and you've seen the hilltop, you've stood on top of the hill, and then you're looking down, and inevitably you will come down.
Yeah.
right?
They're normal.
It's normal. It will happen to everybody, right? And then the thought of having to get back up there is so overwhelming sometimes that I mean, it's like us. It got to a point where we stopped music for some time, and then it's like we have to get back. But it took years, before we said no. Whatever the case, let's just set up the studio again and do it. You see the thing?
Yeah, we were chatting for almost a year, 2 years. Rush.
Yeah.
One time you guys were getting the equipment together.
2 years. We've been chatting.
Yeah. So it's sometimes I can understand them. That it's the idea of having to start that, and it's like you're not as young as you were.
Yeah. The energy is not like before.
Energy. And in Ghana too, we don't celebrate
oldies.
Not just that, but then you should be able to stand somewhere. You've been there. So whatever you do, if you release something, it should automatically get some level of interest, some airplay and all of that. But you find that most radio stations now are just interested in playing
the current ones,
the same current ones, and you see the thing, and they're not interested in celebrating the people that laid the foundations. You see the thing. I mean, how many times do you hear Charles's songs on radio?
Yes, almost say, mix here. You need EB because you saw about that style before they can make the songs.
No, they are the ones.
Are we in the club?
No, we're on radio.
That's it. Yeah. That's it.
Samini, knowing Samini then, now, what can you say about Samini?
And he's one musician I respect so much, and he's someone that I don't know, but I feel he should be a global brand. You understand? He should be a global brand. I mean, the guy, he's talented. He has the looks. He has the showmanship. The brand, the image is there. But I don't know. Ghana, we don't seem to have. We don't have at the moment. We don't have labels who can really push you to the international level. Because look, the reality is it takes millions of dollars to push an artist.
Yeah.
Right. To give you an example, there's one artist. I always use him as a yardstick. He's called Russ. He's an American guy, a white American, Italian American guy. He's a rapper. He just did a song with Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
Right? He said he was going to eat at a restaurant, and then he sees Ed Sheeran there, and he said, "Oh, he doesn't think Ed will know him." So he walked up to Ed and introduced himself, and then he said he ended up sitting down having dinner with Ed and his friends. Before they realized it, they've done a collaboration.
Okay.
But based on that one song, he put $1 million of his own money just to promote the song.
Okay.
You see the thing, and that's knowing that. Look, music is about getting your song to the ears of people, and how can you get it in front of the ears of people? You have to market it.
Yeah.
Right, and you can market it. These days we have so many ways of marketing. There's social media, organic reach, and so on. But really, your organic reach is not going to do it globally. You see the thing. You have to be able to push it out there, put money behind it. Adverts, radio interviews in the right places, magazine articles in the right places. It's all about creating awareness. It takes time and it takes money, and I don't think we have that label or that focus here. Because generally what happens here is, okay, you'll get some successful businessman, he likes music, and he'll take some artist and he'll start pushing money into it. There's no real thought about the business side of it. It's like, oh, let me push, I'll shoot videos, I'll do this, I'll rent a house for you, get you a car, and you have to look like a star. But they're forgetting about the fact that it's business owned. You have to make money from it.
Yeah.
You see, it's not just about bragging rights that, oh, I brought this guy up. You see the thing. How is he going to become a star and actually make money from royalties, from streaming, from branding, from endorsements, all these things? You see the thing. So that's the problem. I think Lynx is probably the only company I know that's doing something like that. You see the thing on that level. But again, it needs more money than that. You see the thing.
Now, someone you or you may check Sabano. Working with Uncle Charles. I didn't or you might take it that time before we say, okay, now let's release it. I didn't want
Uncle Charles, one time I noticed one. You always want to get things right.
Yeah.
You always want to get things right because he lays the vocals by himself before he brings it to us. And he knows that when he brings it to us and there's issues, he has to go back. Because David, if you're working with him and something is not okay, he doesn't care. He can send you back as many times before he works on it. And Uncle Charles, how many times is going in and out and back and forth because of things are not the way it's supposed to be. Until before no, I know what you say. Every because of catches I'm laying this track, having done the chorus, is that this for me to do? I've sung it. It's not what I'm really looking for, and David, I don't think you like it when you're mixing. So just give me some time. Until that's how it works. But before Bebano, almost say BBR is the right way before Beba. Yeah.
Also now Kasim, is it because it will stay back for a long time? Until be back is like that.
Now me feel say now there are so many things you didn't know. Because actually we gave him a wake up call when we had a meeting.
Yeah.
You can't be chair and say, Uncle Charles, just imagine yourself. People know you. You're a big artist. You're a worldwide artist. People out there in Europe everywhere want to even see you or hear you, or even if they can even go and get your songs. But where is it?
Can't find it anywhere.
Can't find it anywhere. Ni Spotify account ni bibia man, every master ni back into way, and then he start building this way. And Tisiano is very, very happy because there are so many things you didn't know. Because someone said when he sat back, Nyama Ekojano, but he was recording too. He has so many songs, but he still wasn't ready.
There's a morale,
Yeah.
Also, you hear some beat to push you.
You know, let me quote the Bible. They say, but for ignorance, my people perish. You see the thing. And there was I was watching an interview with Neo.
Okay.
And then this English rapper, is it Tiny Temper?
Tiny Temper, yeah.
There's this English rapper. He's very big in UK.
Okay.
Called Tiny Temper. And they were talking about, and then they had Spotify, and they had I think Apple Music. So it's like a conference.
Okay.
And Neo was there. Neo was lamenting that everything has changed in the industry. When he came out and he was big, there was no streaming. People bought CDs.
Yeah.
People, they'll buy tickets to your shows and this and that. And then Neo is a writer.
Okay.
He wrote so many songs, Beyonce songs, To the Left. What's it called?
Independent.
To the left.
Yeah, Independent Woman too. He wrote.
Yeah, Independent Woman. But he wrote songs for Rihanna, all of that. And now that's where he made most of his money from, his writing, not just his own music. But everything has changed. So he was there at this conference looking very confused. And I was shocked. And there was this Tiny Temper who's a new artist saying, but this is how it is now. If you want to be popular now, you have to use your Instagram. Yeah. You have to show people what you're eating. You have to show people, that you're going here. You're brushing your teeth. And Neil's saying, no, I'm a star. Yeah. So there has to be some distance. There has to be some magic that you can't see
me all the time.
Yeah.
And they say, no, that's not how it is now.
Now you have
everything
to be out
is
there.
On his head. Now they expect that you will show them your life, and you'll take them along the journey. So most of the old, the pre-streaming musicians and pre-social media, they can't understand, they can't translate to the new way of doing things.
But it's not easy.
It's not easy.
That kind of lifestyle is not easy.
It's not easy at all.
Like I'm on social media eating mafaha, namasakakra, me comfortable. I said, me very
yeah, exactly.
But I'm not omoye.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's what people are expecting now. You see, but it doesn't mean you have. There are ways you can do it where you still keep some level of, privacy. but you have to be consistent now with your communication, because now your fan communicates directly with you. They can even send you messages on Instagram. They can insult you freely on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah,
he's on Twitter. They'll be trolling you. Whereas before, how can you insult a big star? You can't. But now
you don't have access.
You see, so everything has changed. So, but that is the reality. And if you want to be successful in this industry, you have to accept that this is the reality, and this is how things are done now. You see, so I found it very difficult, and there's some parts where it's to me it's not too attractive, you know, the whole social media thing. But you have to learn how to deal with it. Yeah, you have to learn how to deal with it.
That time I'm always and you say continue by Obrafour.
Yeah.
That time, now how of the last two, now the role is saying in Obrafour's career, and you guys, now me say the last two so bam hobe ye you maybe. Relationship is saying.
Yani
when how of the last two, any the role will play on certain songs of Obrafour, but it looks like when you mention Obrafour, it's like how of the last two. But I know you guys did a couple of songs with Obrafour.
Yeah.
And those times, not how of the last two, then.
Now I'm of the last. Also, like Mami album, no, say we did a Mami album before Asensebe album, no. Then no, it was purely we had Ash Foam advert on it. We had Mami TikTok featuring with Yogi at that time, no, yeah. And the AMA Obrafour, that was one was separate. It's a no. And Obrafour near Bekasa said he wants to record his second album. But that time say how many Obrafour the last two no my first one before Mami album then Asensebe album. So Obrafour near Bekasa no or say he would like the songs to be recorded in our studio. He wants us to be the ones
production house,
yeah. So we agreed on that. And okay say Hama would do couple of instrumentations our person in here.
Okay.
But it wants it to be done with us.
Right.
And of course, I'm a buy and yes album, but I'm no. He was a producer for the songs that he did. I think he did 3 or 4 songs on that album. But those songs he did was actually we all worked on it. He produced the instrumentations.
Okay.
I the engineer. By the recording engineer, the sound engineering there because, and then David did a mix and mastering.
Okay.
And the Dkaybees, but he produced. And then we also did 4 tracks.
Okay.
And then Zamallet remix that's in Sebe.
Okay.
So they took hours out of it. But continue or do any I think. And yeah. But all the songs that was done in Dkaybees studios was mixed and mastered and engineered by Mini David.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dealing with artists and their egos and their issues and they don't appreciate. I mean, what has motivated you guys? Some person Mosiah record label, no manage artists.
Oh, okay. Me no. Memo Bia Embe Dynamics. I've got something that you don't have. And David are very reserved, and I mean because so being here memboa na se meboa na se odi sanya man be yebia me mpene because me feel say akwantu be here bia me here bibia wo here bibia me wo awa be hu me intino me because most of them who record you here they will not even that's it. Among frail cripple besides saying only few of them.
And they don't even give you guys credits.
Yes, and an artist like Mensa, and then meeting sometimes come to me to quite. Family home.
Okay.
Wabuche, which me call Europe, no my question show. Just your friend catch you say, you know, I'm having a show at this place. You want to come? I'll reserve a ticket for you. They be like what he does all the time. Yeah, Prodigal, Obrafour. Some of them, but almost most of them, they don't even know what you were. They won't. Obiti Sabri Wanana, you always check up on us. Sakwe are recording it. We're doing his new album. Yeah. Oh, it's you know some of them no. When they get the hit, they are gone. You know, I didn't even tell you, say, Kofi Ntikra, we were the first person to record him.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But I didn't even add that one. Yeah. You know, most of them, until sometimes, you know, I don't know what happens to them, but we are focused. Yeah, we are focused on what we do, and we're still doing it, and we're not going to stop. We'll do it. It's, you know, yeah.
Now, David, Prime Media Entertainment and a record label, no, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Record label, we are going to sign artists. So far, no episode and a war label also.
Yeah.
Now, what has gone into this label in terms of money? I heard something like $5 million.
Yeah. I mean, what's happened with Prime Media Entertainment? We have partnered with American investors.
Yeah.
So basically, we're now a team. So it's no longer just Rush and myself. We're now part of a much larger team. So I'm the COO, and Rush is the label manager.
Okay.
And we have a CEO, and then we have data analysts. There's a whole team now. And
right.
The idea now is that it is a business.
Okay.
You see the thing. So we have corporates. There's corporate governance. There's business strategy. The amount of planning that's gone into it, we've been dealing with this almost 2 years now.
Okay.
Before we are now ready to launch the label itself and the company. But yeah, as I say, look, it takes money. I mean, I was telling you the other day that one of our speakers, one set of speakers, is $15,000.
Yeah,
just one speaker. You see the thing.
That's it's a monitor, right?
Just a monitor, yeah. But it has to be. We're doing it at a global level, so that if Beyonce wants to come and record, she has somewhere to record in Ghana now.
Okay.
You see the thing. Any top level artist, if they want to collaborate with our artists, we have the facilities.
Okay.
You see, and then if we're signing an artist, we know that. Look, it takes. Look, at our last projection, for the first year of signing an artist, we've budgeted $880,000.
In an artist a year?
A year for one artist.
Production of videos, production of music,
promotion, touring, all of those things.
Interviews.
Yeah, just 1 year's budget. Because, look, you have to deal with it as a business, right? To get into certain businesses, you can start with 10,000 CDs. You can start your shop, right? But if you're getting into, let's say, selling cars, it's a different level. If you're starting a label, it's a different level again.
Yeah.
You understand? So you have to, if you're planning to do something properly, you have to research. You have to make sure that you have the strength and the capabilities to do it. You see the thing. So fortunately for us, we've partnered with a very strong, financial organization, so that. We know that, look, the initial investment, we're looking at $5 million just to start the ball rolling. And we also realize that it takes time, because it's going to take 3 to 5 years before you start getting your money back. From these things. Because if you're taking a new artist, it didn't take Ed Sheeran 1 year to become who he is. It's taken him 10 years. You see the thing? So that now the guy is making over $100 million a year. You see the thing? But he built from somewhere.
Now, so what would be the minimum years of mobile signing artists on this label?
Usually we're looking at a 5-year contract.
Okay.
Right. Usually that generally, you see, and what we're also doing is we are following the industry standards, not Ghana industry standards, the global industry standards. So, for instance, even our lawyers, they're not from here. They're based in the UK, specialized copyright lawyers.
Okay.
You see the thing. Even the money we spent on just preparing contracts can buy cars and things. It's crazy. You see the thing. So we want to make sure that at every point it's done properly. You see the thing. It's done properly, so that if we're signing you, we know that you as the artist, you have to feel comfortable that the label has got your back. Yeah, they have what it takes to push you, so that you too can also put your best. You understand? And you know that, look, it's not just some buddy thing. It's a business.
It's a business.
You're signing a contract. You see the thing, and the amount of money that's going behind you, you can't mess up. You can't mess up.
You can't mess up, no. Rush, yeah. All sign will be 5 years. Not along the line, the character and any behavior be the same investment now. How would you handle it?
When in Bibia, I go beso if you're not. Obiti say episode, we've been talking to him for the past 2 years.
Okay.
So we will tell you what it entails and what is going to happen. We're not just having artists just to sign them because you feel they are good or something. All these things are put in together, and it needs to be managed very, very well. And you need to know what you're getting into and what you're getting out of. And we are really prepared to really go through things with you and before, because we have to see your commitment towards this.
Okay.
And you also have to know our commitment, because I did we know. Oh yeah, as someone said, a bibia say a plan in a year, because say whatever it is, you are signing a contract. You know what it entails in the contract. You have to make sure that you get your lawyers to read whatever is in there, and there's an agreement. So whatever it is, the odds and everything that needs, when you breach certain things, what must be taken must go on, and it needs to be respected. It's not a joke thing.
Yeah, Juma. Machines are to turn the microphone, the price of the microphone, and the setup.
We're actually setting up 3 studios. Studio A, Studio B, Studio C. Properly done. And yet, I did say Diaguana because, like we've been talking.
Yeah.
So me took I'm France, I'm no Kasa. You know where I've been in places just because of this thing. And Ejuma no airding. We've come all the way for the past 2 years just to set this thing up. And a lot of people don't even know what's going on. A lot of people, but we're working, and we're almost there. Now, and I can't want them, but the idea is really planned, and something that we really want to help. We really want to help the system. Let our Ghanaian music grow. We want to educate people how to do things in the right way. Say, it's once you are a musician and you've been signed to a label, you should know what it takes to be in that. To be someone to say even what Links is doing, so the boys are behaving very well. Yeah. So
far so good.
Yeah. So far so good, and it's been for me. It's like more than 5 years now with them. So at least they are going and they're getting stronger. So at least why are they? Into this is the kind of you need serious, because I think Richie actually look at their characters, look at who they are, their demeanor, the sort of people they are. Even when they have ego, they know where to stop that thing.
Yeah.
So Biti say a Puff Daddy, when Maze was fooling, he hold his contract for how many? He didn't release for 10 years of your life. They've killed you. They've killed you. So just imagine, if this is the only thing, they've killed your career forever. If you're good enough, these are the things you got to look at.
There are some artists that they are always there. They are not up there. They are not going down. And where they are.
Mensa comes from a family of artists. So
talent. A Kwanzaa TV Africa. Any uncle.
Oh, okay.
Kofi Ansan, the designer.
Yeah. His father is a musician.
His father is a musician.
Been lecturing in the
University of in America.
Yeah. So he comes from a musical or an artistic background. You see the thing. So I think seeing his uncles and his father and everything in that system, he understands the reality of the business. So he's not chasing stardom.
Okay.
You see the thing.
He's doing his thing.
He's doing his thing. That he's an artist. And look, that one thing we have to realize is there are so many hundreds and thousands of artists. Do you know how many artists on Spotify there are? 8 million artists. Right? 8 million.
First 100. Do we have any African artists there?
First 100, I don't know. If
Never doubt it.
I don't think Burna Boy is up there in the top 100. On Spotify. I don't think so, not yet.
Not yet. But I can bet you, sir, also one thing we seem to forget. The ones on top, you don't even know them.
Yes. They're not known.
You don't know them. Because you see, one thing, it's a game now, so people are doing very good music, and they are persuading, and the people are actually accepting what they are doing. Because there's this guy in this Latino country.
Bad Bunny.
Yeah, Bad Bunny. He's number 1 or 2.
Bad Bunny. Yeah, he's in the top 10. He's always,
top 10.
The guy has billions of streams.
You don't even know him.
Bad Bunny.
It's
good. No, and you see the interesting. They do reggaeton.
Okay.
Right? The genre is called reggaeton. And it is so close to Afro beats, you wouldn't believe it. You know, you can actually play them side by side. If they weren't singing in Spanish, know that the actual beats, it has a similar elements and similar feel to what we're doing in the Afro beats. But they, you know, he's there in the Latin America, and the sorts of numbers. He's crossed into America as well now. I think he did
Americans are featuring him now.
Drake. He featured with Drake and all that.
You know,
you see the thing. So there's a huge industry out there. I mean, billions of dollars. So we just have to be able to tap into it and find our feet as Ghanaians. You see the thing, and stop. You know, look, I'll say that the reason why the Nigerians are outperforming us is because they are far more aggressive than us.
Okay.
That's the reality. You see the thing.
They should work harder.
Yeah, they work harder, and they're doing to do whatever it takes to get there. Yeah, but here. You get some small fame here, and then it's like, oh, you're a star.
You're a star.
You know, you're a star, but yeah, maybe you're a star in Ghana. But then, what's our population? How many Ghanaians have Spotify? How many have Apple Music? How many pay for music? You see the thing. So you have to follow the money.
Ghana is a small little country, small, tiny. So reach out there.
The grandpa.
I tell you.
There's something about him I really admire. Also with the age and still fitting with the youth.
You see, Reggie, people don't know. Reggie's our guy. You know, people don't even have any clue. I come to our home, we chill. You know, Reggie, David does pizza for him. You know, Reggie is something else. Reggie, that guy, I don't even know what to say about him because he's been with all the. I mean, he's like
young
infinity.
He is.
He's young at heart.
And that's why I say that. Look, there's no expiry date for a musician. You see the thing, because look at Madonna. Madonna is 60-something years old now,
and is kicking,
and she's still topping the charts and understanding. Okay, fine, I have to go with the flow. I have to follow the time. You see the thing. Things have changed, and then she'll be featuring the young artists and all of that, keeping herself relevant all this time. So it's like that. I mean, we have is it Abu Taylor who's
performing?
He's performing all over the world.
Yeah,
you see the thing, all over the world. So
management,
yes.
Yeah.
I say no. I don't think we really. You know, it's so funny. They will be a manager. My team. What are they doing? My team.
It's basically, as an artist, what's the minimum members do you need around you? Your team, no?
Okay, you can have. Okay, if you're having a record label.
Okay, record label never says you need.
If you don't have that, and it's your own team, you'll be paying them. Yeah.
So you need a minimum of like how many? And who does
manager?
What?
It depends, though. It depends. I mean, if you have that energy and you can do everything yourself, why not? You see the thing. And a lot of artists that are making very good money out there. I mean, there's this other artist called Eldre. He's a black artist in America. He does lo-fi beats. No manager, nothing. Just he himself. He started off in his parents' garage. He was making music in the garage and then doing beats, videos. He'll do YouTube videos and TikTok, and then he blew up. The guy last year, I think he made about $600,000 last year of royalties.
There's only internet. That's the only problem.
Oh yeah, only. Yeah, make us say, buy Abano. Yeah, ready now. PME, Primary Entertainment. We know the research and we know what we're doing.
You know my wish that somebody somewhere will give me money, like Uma Kunya Biabe. Because looking at no more surgery now, but the DJ Khaled AM bringing these old guys, recording them, pushing them, and they're making millions now.
The man knows that he's got gold. Exactly. He knows.
Look how Abranana. The talent is still there.
Exactly.
The passion is there. The akaye sika and then push.
Yeah. From Diamano.
Yeah. We can now, you know, getting those guys, pushing them because Obo map. People are enjoying it. David, I didn't also use Obatonium. And now Cotonium. What, you used to sing?
I do. No, I still do. I still do. The thing is, I mean, I've even released a song today.
Oh,
it's
okay.
on Spotify. Yeah. I released a song. So I release a song every month.
Every month you release a song?
I release a song.
Where from that motivation?
It's one, I believe that I'm building the future.
Okay.
Right. So think of it in terms of you're putting money in the bank every month.
Okay.
Right. I gave you that example of Russ earlier. Yeah. Russ has over 400 songs on the streaming platforms. Right. And every time somebody discovers Russ, they have a whole catalog to go back to and listen to him.
Okay.
So it's not just one song or 2 songs or 5 songs. You can listen to Russ the whole day. You see the thing. So there's always something to come back to. So I believe that, look, sometimes even if you're not seeing success today, think about the future and be consistent.
Okay.
You see the thing. And the thing I love about music, you know, it's called a record.
Yeah.
Making a record. It's called a record for a reason. It is a record of a collection of sound. You see the thing. And that record will exist forever. Yeah. Right now, if you listen to Tchaikovsky or Beethoven, these are 400 or 500 years old composers.
Wow.
Their music is still relevant today. Maybe not to everybody, but you know, classical music is still relevant. People go and pay hundreds of dollars to go to a theater and listen to, you know, the music being played still today. So for me, it's like it's something you're leaving behind as a legacy, and it's something that it can always appreciate in value. There was one Kate Bush. There's this artist called Kate Bush. Okay. She was big in the 80s, very, very big. Just this year, there was this series on Netflix called Stranger Things.
Okay.
They took one of her old songs from the 80s. Is it called Running Up That Hill?
Yeah,
Running Up That Hill. And it became like part of the story of Stranger Things. That song now has become a top 10 hit again.
Wow.
I think 27 years or 30 something years after she made it. You see the thing. So music is an asset.
Yes.
It's an asset.
David, Rush, thanks so much. Our time is up.
Wow, so fast.
so fast. I'm even surprised, yeah. So good.
2 hours, yes.
Yeah.
And once again, I'll say a big thank you for coming. And it is share time. I'm here with my 1 year anniversary, which is this coming Sunday, 4th September.
Yeah, sure.
At Adakojachi, my mom's 1 year anniversary. Then
also, thank you for having us. Yeah, we are very, very happy to be here. I love Kumasi.
Yes.
I've never been here much. Those days I made more Tigo, no.
Okay.
Spend a couple of days while I but from that time it's been so many years I've never been here. But once again, I'll say thank you for having us, and then also it's PME, baby.
Yeah. Oh, Hammer. Again, I'll say a big thank you for hosting us. Again, I always love Kumasi, but I hardly these days I hardly get up here. But you know, before I used to come every month just to chill out and relax. And
it's very
and all
important.
That. Yeah. But just to those listening, that look, a dream is a very special thing, right? And if you kill a dream, you've killed your, you know, what makes you a human being. So anybody out there that has a dream, whatever it is, just pursue it. Be consistent. Even if it's a little thing you're doing every day to it, just keep working on it. Keep working on it. You'll see success.
One day.
One day you'll see it. You'll see it.
I was for CP. Someone joining here didn't commode. Dkaybees production, Prime Media Entertainment coming up soon. Hopefully next month. You better launch it. HammerTime. I will be there. Sorry, so next week another exclusive. Next week I'm hosting Lady Talata.
Wow. Oh wow.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Is she in town?
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, positive.
Nice.